Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. In this particular video today, I want us to talk about the IEBC servers and why William Ruto cannot accept anything to do with the opening of the IEBC servers. This particular video is actually motivated by a tweet which caused serious political storm on Twitter earlier today. The tweet was posted by Dr. Uhuru Kenyatta. Let us dive into this particular tweet. Then I'm going to try and dissect the whole issue of these IEBC servers and why probably William Ruto cannot agree under whatever circumstance for the servers to be open. This is what Uhuru is posing. Let me pose this question, and hopefully we can debate it soberly without anyone catching feelings. If opening this server is what will unlock the country to move on, why not? What does the UK and the US know that frightens them not to open the server? In fact, I've been asking myself the same question. But the element of the UK and the US refusing to open the server is something which has never crossed my mind. But the issue is, if Raila Odinga is giving Ruto 3 demands, and out of the 3 demands, William Ruto is actually willing to discuss one very easily, the commissioners. Only 2 are remaining. And the 2 are the easiest for me. For example, the cost of living. William Ruto can agree, okay, you want us to reduce the cost of living, Unga, let me reintroduce the subsidies. It will send Raila Odinga to the drawing board. But then there's the easiest one, which is the issue of the server. If William Ruto were to open the servers today, and the server proves that he won, that will be the end of Raila Odinga. In fact, just a mere agreement that, okay, you want the servers, let us go to parliament to have it open. But Ruto cannot open the servers. And the Uhuru is continuing. The issue of IEBC server remains a puzzle wrapped in a mystery. The Supreme Court considered that it can't be opened because it will breach the property rights of mathematics, the owner of the server. Still, questions remain though. So the issue here, which Uhuru Kenyatta is raising here, is the issue of the Supreme Court, because majority of Kenya Kwanza supporters believe that the Supreme Court granted access to these servers. That is not true. The truth is they just granted access up to the level they knew nothing much was going to happen. And of course, even the duration was too short for a thorough forensic audit. Why can't this forensic audit be conducted? That is the biggest question. And I want us to look at all those. Uhuru is adding that the effect is that many Kenyans have stubbornly refused to accept this reasoning and can't move on, and may join the Mandamanos Monday. Why do the UK and the US, through Senator Coons, do not want this mystery server to be opened? Who is mostly affected here? I'm surprised that the US and the UK also don't want this server to be open. For me, I understand why they don't want the server to be open. But I want us to focus on why William Ruto cannot accept this server to be open. And to do that, let me just give you, because Senator Aaron Cheriot, who is the Senate Majority Leader, responded to this tweet, and he was very blunt that forget about servers. Ballot boxes, which are the primary source of data in the server, were open. Azimio picked the samples to be open. Not a single discrepancy was recorded. Stop entertaining fools conversation. Soon students will go to street and ask for the exam paper. Now, that is what Aaron Cheriot is responding. Now, Stephen Nyambo is asking him, Majority Leader, sir, it is hypothetical question. Assuming it is as you claim, discrepancy free, and this is the cause of the pain of business people and your government too. Why is it too difficult to open? So the Kenyans are just asking that simple question. Why can't you just open the servers? Why can't you just open the servers? The question is, if these servers were to be opened today, for me, two things are going to happen. Number one, the legitimacy of William Ruto's presidency. Nobody is going to question it. It's going to be obvious that William Ruto won the presidency free, fair, and square. That will mark the end of the story. The second thing which is going to happen is the credibility of the IEBC. Accountability and transparency. The truth is, so many Kenyans believe that IEBC is actually not transparent, not credible, and not accountable. Because the issue of the servers, for me, should not be a big deal. Which reminds me of a series which I've been reading, which Isaac Hassan has been posting in his book. I think it's on The Nation, which has been trying to serialize it. And if you read that series very closely, you realize that the elections in this country is actually compromised. That before the results were announced, the only person who went there and talked to Hassan was Amina Mohammed. Then Amina Mohammed was later on appointed a cabinet secretary from nowhere. That's why I've always told you, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. When you see Ruto just name someone, you've never heard his name or her name as a minister, no, there's something. Then it's also coming out that it is the same Amina Mohammed who wrote Uhuru Kenyatta's victory speech. You can easily add that Amina Mohammed was actually the link between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto at that time and Isaac Hassan, who was the chair of IBC. Was it IBC? Let us not get into that for now. I want us to focus on why William Ruto cannot allow these servers to be open. Before we do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. So thank you so much. And I want to really appreciate the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there who decided to send me some coffee. I want to thank you. You can also do the same on the numbers on your screen, because it goes a long way in supporting the channel. Now, let us get back to the main issue. Let me ask you a question. Forget about the cost of living. Forget about IBC commission recruitment, because that is already being taken care of. The issue of the server. What makes it very difficult for William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza to just agree with Azimio to open the servers?
Eventually, Wakenya mjue, eventually server inaenda kufunguliwa. The earlier the captain and his group comply, the better. Why are you making it hard now? Katika ufunuo wa kiroho, server itafunguliwa. Na hesabu itapigwa tena. Na makaratasi itawekwa sahihi tena. Na Raila Odinga anaenda kuapishwa tena.
The issue which they are raising, which Azimio are not buying, is the fact that servers were open. I mean, the ballot boxes were open randomly, and some polling stations were recounted, and there were no serious discrepancies. The fact is, based on the report which was submitted by Azimio, there were discrepancies. But let us not even go there. Why don't we just agree as a country to take the ballot boxes to ICC, to KICC, to Kasarani or Nyayo Stadium? Have people there. Count them one by one. While that is happening, you go to Kisumu Sports Ground where you voted, you pick them, you count them. Then you go to the servers. We open the servers and check if those are the true figures. We go to other places, because the reason why there are issues is what transpired. Wafula Chebukati decided to print Form 34A, 2 of them. So the fact that he printed from 34A 2 copies, it meant that if, for example, these were the figures which were sent to the server, this particular piece sent to the server, then there was a chance that it was manipulated somewhere. Then another Form 34A of Book 2 used now to fake another result, which was then transmitted. So to erase all those issues from the minds of Kenyans, for me, it's just simple. Let IEBC open the servers. But William Ruto cannot allow that, based even on the statement by Aaron Cheruiyot. Why do you think he can't allow that? Number one, the implication of that server. Assuming they go and open that server today, then William Ruto is announced the president, is announced to have won the presidency, no discrepancies. Then Raila Odinga's politics. And that should help Ruto. But the implication would be if the results would be different from what was announced on the servers. Because probably Azimio, I'm also convinced that Raila Odinga is not just a madman to insist from nowhere 6 months later that I want the servers to be open. Raila Odinga cannot be mad just to do that. There must be something he knows. But if the recount or the server audit will prove that Raila Odinga won, what would be the implication? Is Ruto going to vacate the office? Or what do you think is going to happen? Because I'm told what Raila Odinga intends to do is that he wants to negotiate with Ruto under a different term. That the servers have been confirmed that it is me who won. So we discuss from there. So that's something which Ruto cannot agree to. In fact, the issue of William Ruto's legitimacy cannot allow him to agree to this audit, whether that audit is going to favor him or not. Number two, there's something which William Ruto knows, which no any other Kenya understands. For those who followed the politics of this country, a few days to the elections, some individuals were found with election materials. That case was never pursued. It ended. It died there. Who are these people? What was their role? What were they doing with the election material? If they were contracted by IEBC, several questions can be asked. So William Ruto knows something which he would not want to get out. The other reason why Ruto cannot allow this is the issue of access to the server. How many people accessed IEBC servers? And how many people were required by law to access the IEBC servers? Because audit will now show. And indeed, if it's true that the only people who accessed the server were the authorized individuals, that should be good news for Ruto. But he can't allow that because there's something he knows which we don't know. Raila Odinga and his team slept on the job. And in fact, if elections were to be held today, they will still sleep on the job because there are certain things they are taking lightly. They don't take them seriously, if you ask me. So the issue of who accessed the data. The fourth reason why Ruto would not want this audit of the servers is to protect the integrity, in quotes, of the elections. And election in the country is actually a process. It even begins from procurement. So there have always been questions about procurement of mathematics. Someone would start by asking questions about how was mathematics procured? What were their roles? All those questions. Today, if you go to IEBC servers, their portal, you can't find these results because they're still being cooked somewhere. In fact, someone made a comment to that effect on this particular tweet by Ekuru Aukot. And lastly, it will also raise the questions about two things. The IEBC register. Do we have a clear IEBC register in this country? Because if you are to audit IEBC servers, you will begin from the registration. You go back to the audit, because I think at some point the audits were done on the register. Then you go back, you figure out how many people have died, how many are still left there. Then from there now, from the register itself, you'll now then start questioning the final results, because the results are supposed to be announced based on the final register. And that will lead to floodgates of cases. After the audit. And as the President of the Republic of Kenya now, William Ruto would not want to subject IEBC to that, because he has a plan again for 2027. If you audit IEBC and you realize that certain things were not done right, of course measures will be taken to fix those issues. What about his plans for 2027? Are they going to be thwarted? So let us wait and see how this thing is going to unfold. But for me, the easiest thing which could have been done by Ruto and Kenya Kwanza was to allow for the opening of the servers, conduct an audit. Then once that audit is conducted, then you are free now to take Raila Odinga to court, ask IEBC to take them to court. Raila Odinga should then even be asked to retire. But as long as the servers cannot be open, I still believe that the elections were not free, they were not credible, and there is no way they can stand. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.